let's get genuine. You are not only growing, you're gleaming. You are beaming that brightness. It's irrefutable, unshakable, and completely yours. And this is the reality. They do not want to confess they notice it. The same people that ghosted you and believed your grind wasn't worth their time are now coming back. Why? Because you have transformed every ounce of doubt into unquestionable excellence. But let me tell you something. You do not owe them anything. Your table is precious, and your energy is invaluable. This is not about locking people out. It's about defending the area you battled so hard to establish. Those who were there while the ascent was steep, who recognized your little victories, who believed in your vision, even when it was just a seed. They earned their seats. The others are merely spectators now. You did not rise for their approbation. You rose for yourself. Allow them to admire from the sidelines. Allow them to wish they hadn't underestimated you, and let their sorrow fuel your clarity. Your achievement demonstrates that commitment and honesty are more valuable than hollow words or transient attention. So keep going, keep shining, and keep telling the world that you're more than simply alive. You are prospering. They return not out of guilt, but rather out of nostalgia, believing that the warmth of old recollections would hide their intentions. Their goal isn't to rekindle true friendships, but to place themselves beside your emerging star. Your accomplishments highlight what they lack, and they now wish to bask in the radiance they previously scorned. They don't want to reestablish confidence. They are looking for a footing in success. They did not contribute to the construction process. Their dread of irrelevance gnaws at them, and your accomplishments are the solace they badly need. They sat on the sidelines, counting on your failure, and are now rushing forward as you overtake them. Their return is motivated not by appreciation, but by the dread of being forgotten. What they want is affirmation, not connection. Your accomplishment has become a symbol of importance. They're seeking for a shortcut to undeserved recognition. To them, your existence is a commodity, and your achievements are cash in the game of social clout. They do not witness your adventure. They perceive a chance to capitalize on your successes for their own game. Their praises are infused with self-interest. Their grins, a cover for ulterior objectives. This is not about you. It is about what your position can provide for them. Their sudden excitement does not indicate a link. It's a calculation. Ghosting was never a single act. It was a decision laced with dismissals that left much more lasting impressions than quiet. Those who shunned your desire, who questioned your vision, have resurfaced with selective amnesia, behaving as if their absence was nothing. Their disinterest was not benign. It was a deliberate rejection of your potential. And now, when they feel the pain of exclusion they once caused, they return, thinking that time has mitigated the effect of their negligence. The echoes of their expulsion may remain, but you've outgrown their grasp. You've come to understand that their return is not about reconciliation. It is about self-preservation. Allow them to approach. However, keep in mind that they are not attracted to you because of your appearance. They are attracted to what they see. You've transformed as your accomplishments take center stage. Their absence becomes a stark reminder of their decisions. Those who discounted your potential, whether as mentors, bosses, or guides, were unable to see past their own restricted viewpoints. They saw nothing exceptional, oblivious of the fire inside you that was about to erupt. Today, they can sense the quiet wave of your development. Their grins were artificial, and their comments sounded empty. It is not adoration that they feel. It's the weight of squandered possibilities combined with the silent ache of their own short-sightedness. Structural rejection bears a larger cost, a social prejudice that sought to silence your voice before it could ever be heard. This was not just personal negligence. It was systemic. Overcoming it required not just work, but also resistance, an unwillingness to stay silent. Your current accomplishment extends beyond a personal victory. It's a blow to the structures that attempted to make you invisible. Every milestone you achieve is a blow to the forces who wanted to keep you back in the digital era. Silence becomes sharper. Ignored texts, ignored calls, and hollow interactions become instruments for dismissal. Each missed contact they expected to weaken you instead became a witness to their absence in the tale of your ascent. They must now bear the silence that they formerly commanded. Their quiet, echoed by your apparent accomplishment, was never about you. It was a sign of their unwillingness to see your value. They choose to underestimate you and treat you as an afterthought. But their apathy reveals more about them than it does about you. The reasons behind their actions are irrelevant since their absence did not define you. Instead, it revealed who deserved to stand by you. Closure is sometimes portrayed as a gift of understanding, but it is a capability you own, not one they can provide. You do not need their apologies, justifications, or validations. The moment they walked away, they gave up their position in your tale. Moving ahead is not dependent on their actions. It's your choice. Cut the cord. Leave the past where it belongs and move on without looking back. They made their decision when they vanished. Allow them to stay where they wanted to be. You don't need their explanations, reappearances, or efforts to reintroduce themselves into your story. If you've claimed your independence, their absence is no longer an issue. It reveals their incapacity to meet you wherever you are. Allow them to go and move on, unstoppable and undeterred. They get jealous as they see you rise, turning your accomplishment become a stark reminder of their stagnation. Your progress is more than simply a reflection of your perseverance. It is a reflection of all they have failed to do. Each milestone you achieve adds to their fears. Instead of applauding your achievements, they withdraw. Their quiet is not benign. It is a means of self-preservation, a technique to protect themselves from the discomfort that your advancement causes. By ghosting, they tell themselves that disregarding your consent would alleviate the agony of their own lack of momentum. Their disengagement is less about you and more about the revelations your wins provide. Your accomplishments shine a light that threatens to reveal their complacency, so they choose to vanish rather than face their faults. Their remoteness is not due to disinterest. It is an effort to retake control in a story in which they feel overshadowed. Your tenacity shows their failure to match your resolve, and rather than confronting that reality, they chose avoidance. Their absence is not unintentional. It is computed. Their jealousy stems from their failure to measure up, not from your merit. They do not ghost because they have forgotten you. They are ghosting because they are unable to handle what you represent. Allow their quiet to speak for itself. It is louder than any words they could ever say. They never had the ability to walk by you, and their removal only strengthens your way ahead. Now is the moment to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. With a $100 gift or more, you can help him realize his vision and be a part of this heavenly mission. Every contribution symbolizes God's generosity, and I think it will return back to you enormously, far beyond your expectations. Remember that his protection and blessings are with you every step and every contribution. You become a part of his divine plan. You are a powerful, dazzling entity, as solid as the massive rock that saw God's marvels. Feel the rewards of your kindness in your spirit, and light up the world with confidence and bravery. Be blessed, and let the light of the Lord lead you. Consider the classic narrative of a race in which one contender underestimates the other's determination. The one who begins quickly, full of confidence, stops to rest convinced of an easy victory. But the steadfast competitor, unfazed by rejection, continues onward with calm concentration. The outcome is unavoidable, not due to chance, but because constancy always triumphs over arrogance. Those that ghosted you believed they were leaving you behind for their own gain. They saw themselves as superior, mocking the speed of your voyage. But now, as your successes progress and the finish line approaches, they flood back. Allow their hurry to serve as a reminder of their desire to unite with the victory they had before disregarded. Victory belongs not to those who flee, but to those who stay firm. You have already won because you chose perseverance over pretense. Allow them to watch from the sidelines. They gave up their spot alongside you because they misjudged your might. This is your opportunity to shine. Subscribe. It's time to make it memorable. The foundation for your success was set in times when they didn't see the sacrifices made while they were looking aside. Every silent accomplishment, every stride forward in solitary, formed the unshakable foundation of what you've accomplished today. They did not notice the long nights, the discipline, or the battles you fought alone. You were able to function despite their absence. It fueled you. Every rejection, every act of indifference fueled your resolve and transformed your drive into domination. What they did not notice was your metamorphosis. While they vanished, you persisted, transforming quiet into strength and indifference into inspiration. Their disdain did not shatter you. It became the impetus for your ascent. Now, when you reach the summit of your adventure, they return. Drawn by the glory of your victory, they give meaningless praise in the hopes of securing a seat at the table you established from scratch. But you recall who was there during the conflict and who wasn't. Your achievement was not a gift. It was earned. Without their consent or support, you've gradually built an environment that isn't for everyone. You've learned to prioritize depth over quantity, understanding that genuine partnerships are formed on trust rather than convenience. Your circle is purposeful, made up of folks who supported you when your vision was merely a whisper. The departure of those who questioned you is not a loss. It is a gift. Their quiet allowed you freedom to develop, and their absence keeps you at peace. Legacy is not about pleasing the audience. It is about adhering to the limits and ideals that led you here. Their acclaim does not validate you, nor does their approval determine your value. You've reached a point where their acknowledgement is unneeded. Allow them to remain on the fringes, gazing from afar. Their attention is now empty, stemming from jealousy and an awareness of what they missed. Your attention is still ahead. Your options. Deliberate legacy is not based on borrowed adoration. It is based on constant activity, unshakable commitment, and unchanging self-belief. You aren't here to prove anything to them. You came here to prove to yourself what you've always known. You're capable of greatness. Allow them to observe, but let them remain on the outside looking in. Authenticity is a power that requires no confirmation. It just flourishes as you become more true to yourself. Those who cannot match your enthusiasm naturally drift away, like leaves blown off a tree in the wind. You are not responsible for their pain. It's their response to your talent at the table. Losing connections that no longer align is not a failure. It is clarity. These people were not supposed to join you on your trip. Your growth revealed the limits. They refused to face and chose distance over progress. Letting them go is not loss. It is liberation. Chasing for a true connection is unnecessary. It thrives in harmony as you abandon pretenses. The proper individuals are pulled to you based on resonance rather than force. These are the people who perceive you for who you are and respond to your energy with the same passion and purpose. Your sincerity serves as a filter, clearing the way for partnerships based on mutual respect and a shared goal. There is no space for people who are terrified by your honesty. They were never intended to remain. Those who belong will naturally gravitate toward you. Feel the spark. Let us transform it into a blaze. Subscribe today to join the trip. Stepping into your authenticity is a process of unmasking, removing layers of expectations imposed by others. They wanted you to darken yourself and conform, but you refused. Every layer you lose highlights the distinction between those who appreciate your progress and those who drift away. Your tribe arises not by happenstance, but by the unmistakable power of shared purpose. Continue peeling back the layers, knowing that sincerity ensures that only those who share your journey will stay as you ascend. Your mastery speaks louder than their disinterest and is so wonderful that they can't ignore you. Is not simply advise. This is the truth. You have lived. They went away because they believed you were average, ignorant of the unwavering commitment you put into your work. They did not notice the grind. Quiet moments of persistence that solidified your unshakable foundation. Now that your quality has become unmistakable, they seek to return out of need rather than change. Your development requires care, but you know better. Let your light shine. However, Save your table for people who have earned their position beside you. This is hardly a case of chance or perfect timing. It's the outcome of unwavering determination and unparalleled expertise. You were able to function despite their absence. It improved your concentrate. Their rejection did not weaken you. It strengthened your determination as you rose. Not to contradict them, but because excellence speaks for itself. Their efforts to return have little weight. They underestimated you, and now they're scrambling for relevance in a space they abandoned. You owe them nothing. Exclusion is not malicious. It's intentional. Preserving your energy is critical. Only those that boost you and inspire progress without degrading you are worth your time. The remainder they suck and drain, and they are unworthy of the access they want. Protecting your circle is a sign of strength and wisdom. You get to choose who enters and who stays away. Allow those who denied your talent to remain spectators while you create something much greater than their contribution. Forgiveness does not imply reintroducing turmoil into your environment. You may release animosity without racing the clock. Realizing their humanity does not necessitate giving them a footing in your work. Honor yourself enough to distinguish between those who return with genuine intentions and those who merely want a piece of your success. Your potential is waiting. Unlock it with us. Subscribe today to begin your change. True intentions are revealed by acts, not words. Genuine effort is continuous, consistent, and rooted in genuineness. Opportunists, on the other hand, deliver hollow praise and ulterior motivations, seeking to capitalize on your brightness without supporting its ignition. Compassion has limitations, and progress requires the clarity to enforce them. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is crucial. Excluding people who do not belong does not constitute rejection. It is wisdom. The table you constructed is not for everyone, and only those who have earned their position deserve to sit. Consider the story of King Midas, whose infatuation with gold was his doom. His thirst for fortune blinded him to the genuine meaning of life, and everything he touched became devoured by his greed. Those who dismissed you are no exception. They admire your achievement, but they don't comprehend the sacrifices, tenacity, and loneliness that led to it. They, like Midas, are obsessed with the sheen but fail to see the depth of the trip. Their newfound interest is not based on adoration. It is driven by their desire to gain from your genius. However, they cannot claim your tale as their own. Allow them to stay outdoors, staring at the achievement they never thought was attainable. Their disrespect was not quiet. It was a choice. As your genius becomes difficult to ignore, people return seeking significance rather than support. Their motivations are apparent. Your accomplishments highlight what they lack, and their presence is motivated by a desire to rewrite their part in your success. This isn't poetic justice by chance. It's the inevitable outcome of perseverance and truthfulness. The tables have turned, not out of malice, but due to the calm, unmistakable power of your progress. The reckoning is not your business, but your accomplishment provides as clear evidence. Your tale is not theirs to define. Their affirmation adds no value to the strength you've built. Those who are now scrambling to align themselves with your story misunderstand what is genuinely important. Allow them to watch from the sidelines. They only see the sparkle and not the sacrifices. Those who stood by your side when things were unclear deserve to be there today. They are the basis, the calm hands that strengthened your ascent. Include them on purpose, not out of necessity, since their commitment earned them a place at your table. Leadership entails changing the rules, not to exclude, but to secure inclusion for the right reasons. You're not defying conventions. You are creating new systems. Let your leadership be distinguished by clarity and compassion. Reject opportunism with grace, staying true to the limits that safeguard your work. Those who return in desperation are received with amusement rather than hate, a light but keen reminder of their absence when it counted. Your accomplishment is not theirs to share until they have made a sincere effort, not for their own reason, but to connect with your goal. Kindness is not a weakness, and limits are not harsh. They have strength. Compassion provides forgiveness, but it does not erase past. Protecting your energy, vision, and legacy is your right. The opportunities you've created are available to those who demonstrate honesty, effort, and alignment. The others stand outside, observing your climb as proof of what they let slip through their fingers. Let your achievement speak for itself, and your choices reflect the clarity of who actually deserves a role in your tale. The essence of effort is louder than any apologies. Those who disappeared when the job required their attendance have no place in the benefits of its completion. Their absence throughout your battle was a decision, and you now have complete control over who sits at your table. Allow it to represent your values-based loyalty and devotion. Change does not occur via promises. It is apparent in action. Those who claim change without showing it are making noise. Real effort is deliberate, consistent, and evident. Apologies are easy to deliver, but trust is developed on long-term activities. It is not your responsibility to offer belief without evidence of their progress. Words may seem persuasive, but patterns reveal the reality. If their conduct reverts to previous patterns, their so-called reform was just a temporary act. Genuine change does not need forgiveness. It quietly proves itself over time, with no expectation. Let their deeds, not their words, demonstrate their sincerity. You've created something worth preserving, and not everyone deserves access to it. Redemption is not given out. It's acquired via hard work and honesty. You do not owe somebody your trust just because they ask for it. Allow their behaviors to pave the way back. If they falter, it demonstrates that they have not fully changed. Your item is valuable, and protecting it is a top responsibility. Those who cannot put their words into action stay unchanged, and their development is not your concern. Walking ahead takes wisdom. Demand action over explanations. Progress over cliches. Their words fail to provide closure. It is your choice to proceed without their permission or apologies. The doors you shut behind you demonstrate your strength, not your weakness. Growth is your armor, your weapon against those who dismissed you. Letting go is not the same as abandoning. They chose themselves over their phony promises, and they are still where they belong. I'm on the sidelines, observing as you climb. Your accomplishments do not need their approval. Their silence said volumes about your suffering. However, your triumph has drowned out whatever noise they make. They opted to vanish when the path seemed unclear, and now they have resurfaced. Not for yourself, but for the benefits of what you've built. Allow them to remain as spectators, apart from the foundation they did not help create. Reconciliation is not always the solution. Your tranquility is not dependent on their engagement. Every stride ahead moves you further from their absence and increases your determination. Healing entails understanding. They were never a crucial component of your development. Their explanations fail to provide closure. It is up to you to let go of the need for their presence. Allow them to stay on the outside, seeing what they previously ignored. Your success is not for their advantage. It demonstrates your resilience. Closure isn't an olive branch. It is a hard border. Continue ahead, with their quiet serving as a footnote in your tale. When individuals reveal their actual selves, trust them. The spaces you make should be filled by those who stood by you when the journey was unclear. These are the folks who remained steady even when recognition seemed far away. Celebrate those who stay consistent, and make your circle reflect sincerity, loyalty, and mutual respect. Those who left have made their decision, and your achievement does not entitle them to an invitation back in. Their deeds already speak for them. Living bravely implies prospering without seeking acceptance, looking back, or reluctance. Your path was not shaped by their absence. It was constructed with your dedication and power. While atonement may be a possibility for some, your limits cannot be negotiated. Past acts show purpose, and no hollow apologies can alter the decisions they made when you needed them most. The importance of your table lies not in who sits at it, but in the character of those who do. Allow them to remain outside and observe what they were denied the opportunity to participate in. Your attention is not on proving them incorrect. It's about living so freely that their views have no importance. The foundation you've laid remains firm, resistant to the words of those who gone. It indicates purpose, resilience, and clarity, as well as effort. Your table is not for everyone. It's for those who choose to stand with you, who embraced your vision and celebrated your successes as their own. Each chair at your table is a narrative of mutual respect and unflinching support. Those who departed when the path required more were never intended to remain, and their absence created way for those who genuinely belong. Keep your place holy. Let those who have strayed away stay at a distance. Their decisions have already shown their priorities. Their departure was not a loss. It was emancipation. You have created something wonderful, and not everyone should have access to it. Keep your energy strong and only allow individuals who are connected with your mission into your circle. This is not about exclusion. It's about prioritizing elevation above compromise. Strength trumps pretension. Your progress was not powered by affirmation. It flourished during its absence. The space they left created the foundation for your unwavering legacy. Your path is not just yours. It is a beacon for others to follow. Share your progress not for accolades, but to inspire others. Allow your story to remind others of the worth of discernment and being loyal to their path. Encourage them to respect their boundaries and treat their tables as hallowed areas of honesty and loyalty. The most desirable seats must be earned, never gave. And, with each stride forward, tell yourself that leaving the worthless behind does not reduce your brightness. It glows brighter because of it.